Welcome back to the Pour Off Critter. Today I'm going to kind of do a recap of what we did the other day. I'm not sure if you watched that video or not. Hope you have. Little explanation today of the saw rig I built. The rig I have on top of this saw, they're pretty cheap. You can get them anywhere from on eBay from $18 up to $36. When I bought this, they were actually sold, designed to cut vertical. I went through all these internet searches, everything, to figure out the best stable saw I could make for it. Came up with this down here, the original, which is nothing but a box. It used to be almost 9 foot long. We've since cut it down. Hollow in the middle with just some braces. And it worked great for a little while, but you couldn't keep the boards even, the cuts even. They'd wobble. One end would be 1 inch, the other end would be 3.5. You just couldn't keep them straight. So I thought further research, and a lot of mind-boggling putting into this. I thought, what if I took this and put a top rail above it? That way, turn it into vertical, which nowadays they sell these as vertical saws, or sawmills. By turning it into vertical, I could saw this way, like you saw the other day, if you watched the other video, which we're going to do here in a little bit. You can keep everything even, on an even cut. Now, where I had trouble the other day, I think I found a solution. Every time we got down this small, you couldn't hold on to the back. It would be too much vibration. I'd had Sam here pushing. It was really causing a big problem. So I thought, a turning lathe. They have this disc on the end. It has a screw in the middle, but it has these little prongs. You drive those into the piece you're cutting, you're turning, put the screw in to hold it there, and you can turn that all day. Well, this isn't going to be turning, but what I decided to do, I'm not sure if you can see this, I put 3 lag bolts, and they only come out about 1/2 inch, going through all of this. So it will hold the wood in place as we go, because it's not going anywhere now. The only drawback about this system is every time I want to move this over to get another cut, I have to unbolt it, screw it back down, and so on and so on. The other thing is you scar the end of your wood, but I can lose 1/2 inch off the wood. That's no big deal. You can see what we cut the other day. We cut this. It's not bad, not smooth by any means, but this will work for what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to finish this roof up here, which you can't see, of course, it's above us. That's the shed that I never finished. But I'm also thinking about doing the side where I have logs. We're thinking about replacing it with these longer pieces. That's my idea. The other thing is that I made this almost 6 foot long. I think it is a little over 6 foot long. But the idea is that I could make 4x4 posts, things like that we use around this property quite a bit. And the wood we're using is the only wood we have on this property. This right here, I believe what he cut was maple. It doesn't really have a smell. It may be poplar, pretty hard for poplar. But the only trees we have out here, we have a few oak. Most of them were logged off before I owned the property. We have a lot of yellow poplar, which is also called tulip poplar, which is softer than pine, actually. And we got maple, a lot of sugar maple. Maple isn't the greatest, but that's what this pole barn is made out of that you're sitting underneath right now. It's made out of sugar maple. It cracks a lot when it dries out. But it holds its shape, which I'm looking at a post right now that's got a huge crack down the middle, but it's holding. That's all I care. They hold. And the bottoms are in there quite a ways into the ground. That's basically what I'm doing. I've made this frame out of, I believe that's a 2x8. I want it to hold a good sturdy log. 2x8, 2x8. And then we have, of course, cross pieces to hold them. I believe, if I remember right, that's 14 inches across. What we used to have on this was another board, another 2x4, going across this all the way down. And that was my guide. Let's sit there with saw doing this way. We have this recess down here. These are recessed 1.5 inches down to hold the board. And I never planned on doing anything less than a 2x4 width. That's the reason why I recessed them down. It worked great, ish, but I was never that happy with it. And to do an 8-foot board, which I had done numerous times, it would take me forever, and you're worn out. You're absolutely worn out by the time you get 2 cuts done on the front and the back. So I wanted to come up with something simple. I just cut it down. These are the original posts. I just moved them out of the weeds over there, brought them over here. These are cemented in the ground this time because last time they were kind of weak, wobbly. But I also wanted something that when we're not using it as a sawmill, we have a little workstation, a little workbench, which we do a lot of things around here with wrenches and what have you, and wood, and sometimes you need a workbench. So we go around to the back side and just use that all we want. Another thing I do, if you see me do the pallets, I've got a video where I do pallets into the wood siding. Sawmill siding, I believe, is the name of that video. But I wanted something that I could stand the pallets up on with a back brace, and I could cut down. So I would bring them over here and set them in here, lean them against this. I can just cut them straight down. Me with my bad back, my bad hip, it's hard. I can't hardly bend over at all. And those bottom cuts on those pallets were killing me. So I wanted to lift it up off the ground. This gives me a kind of a multi-purpose workstation. Now these 2x4s and things here are not screwed down. They're just here for leveling purposely. If I screwed them down, I'm afraid they would rot for one thing. But this way I can remove them, but also I can change the heights as I want. And it's kind of dual purpose that way. I can always stack 2 behind it. I can do multiple maneuvers with it that way. But that's pretty much my design. Kind of proud of it. Proud of how it's working. This right here will not move on us again. It's on there. I don't care about this end moving because this is the saw end. Once you get it started, the bar pretty much holds it in place. You need the strength down here. And I'm only doing short wood right now. We cut up some oak the other day, seasoned oak, sitting right over here on the other side of the tractor. It looks kind of punky though. I'm not sure if I want to use that. But right now I'm just going to go with the short boards. And so we can finish up some stuff around here before winter, hopefully. Sambo, my grandson, is also signed up for the military. He hasn't finished his enlistment yet. All the contractual and what have you. He still has to finish that with the recruiter before he goes. Not sure when that's going to be. So before he leaves, we want to get as much done as we can. This winter, I'll probably be with arthritis in the back and the hip. Pretty much sits me down in the wintertime by the heat. But this is going to work for now. This is what we want to do. Future upcoming videos I have planned. This one today, I'm going to have Sambo cut this. My back is killing me today. So I'm going to have him use his back and cut this. I'll be here to help him aim it up, get the right thickness. I want to keep them thin. I don't want it real thick. And when it gets done with this, then we'll have to, unfortunately, loosen the lag bolts, move it over, get the right measurement, screw it back in there, and go at it again. That's just going to be part of the system. If anybody has any idea for a clamp system, I want a locking clamp system down on top of these, let me know in the comments. Because that's what I would really like to have. I'd like to have some sort of handle where you come around to the backside and you pull down, it locks us into place. That way we wouldn't have to do any of this. But for right now, this is what we're going to use. It'll work. So for right now, I'm going to leave you with that. And Sam's going to take over here in a little bit. So right now, I'm going to say, hang on for Sam. Wormwood. Oh, wormwood. Yeah, I need. Let's flip it over and get the mark side. Okay, get on the back side. Yes. What? Hang on. No, 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 no. What? What? Kicking up on me. Oh, okay. When you bring it this way, it'll kick it down. Yeah, but once it goes up, I know. We got the 1 inch now. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we make it That top one may not reach. I don't know. Wait a minute. I gotta see. Was it right? Yeah, I think. No, that. Hey, you gotta come over here and hold it down because if I don't, the trick works when you pull it down, it's straight, but it bounces a lot. But we can get around that. I don't know if I can hold it or not. A little thicker on that end than this end, but it's still not bad. Yeah, we're going to keep doing the same, or you can't get it on there anymore. Come on in. I can only get one end, I think. No, is that about right? Yeah. That's not bad. It's not even on this side. But this side's real good. We'll take it. holes in this thing? One for each one. Bend over.
I reckon that's as much as we can get out of that one.
Okay, you can go ahead and unscrew that though.
The drill's not dead.
Okay, what'd you do with that one sheet? You gave that to me. One. Oh, how we can catch up with me here.
Man, this sucker is warm. Battery and all.
Well, you're dead. Just, I wouldn't even worry about it then. Maybe I'll keep the screw from rusting. Oh, no. I ain't gonna take time for that. Here, come here.
It's almost out. Just pull it. There you go.
You're good. Okay.
Poor drill.
So what we had here is almost a 2x4 at one end up to a certain point, and then it goes a little.
That's it one that we got crooked.
Yeah, the first cut.
Second.
Okay, can you do me a favor and grab those?
Oh yeah. Hey, I just realized you rotated it at one point. We changed widths.
Yep. There's another one. There's two pretty good little boards.
Could clean these up later.
And there's two more out of that one log.
Oh, still got some bark out of it.
It's got some bark. We can trim that off. That's no problem. But also right down here, did I see one right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick that one up.
That's that super skinny one though.
I like them skinny. There's another one. I like that thickness. But right there's some usable wood. Plus we have, down here I'm kicking in the dirt. I like to use slab wood. We've got 1, 2, 3 pieces of slab wood down here that we can also use. So you can see how the sawmill works. Does a pretty good job. I got to remember to brace this up, put a 2x4 or something in here so it doesn't sag. This metal on top, that's just 2x4 framing like they use in a commercial construction. We know a place where they're getting rid of an old Kmart and turning it into a hospital type place, and they give us a lot of their metal. But I need to brace that up because the weight will make it sag after a while. But you can see how this is going to work. It works pretty good, especially when you got somebody to do the muscle work.
Shoot, it pulls itself mostly.
This is pretty wormy wood. This is seasoned oak. I don't know if you can see past that, but there's 2 oak trees standing here. This was the 3rd one. This one finally fell. And it fell on Sam's truck.
Yeah, this is kind of my revenge.
But it had ants, worms, everything in it. It's still solid wood. Now used to, I don't know if it's still in fashion, but used to be that was a high dollar item. People love to take wormwood, sand it down, varnish it, make tabletops, all sorts of stuff out of it. But those would be pretty valuable. I don't know if they still are. But not for what we're going to use it for. And these other ones, I'm not sure. They're too wide for what I do. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. But we'll come up with something. I usually use stuff like this for bracing. They make fantastic braces when you're bracing something up. But yeah, there you go. That's how it works. Hope you enjoyed it. This was a trial and error. We figured out what we're going to do. We're going to get a screw stock. Ready stock.
Here's a large one, for example.
Yeah, you got that right in the camera. They probably can't see it.
No, they could see it.
But we're going to use probably about maybe a 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit bigger. I'm going to thread this in. I'm going to put something in here to, maybe some bolts or something, I don't know, but something some nuts, something to hold in here. So when you thread this in, you have to hold a piece of wood or something up against it, and you just put the pressure that locks it in.
It'll make a clamp.
What I'd like to do is in between these two right here is take like a center brace that you can also go through, so it keeps everything straight and even. But that's my plan. That's what we figured out what to do, how to fix our clamping issue. But this did work pretty good for small logs. Big logs, I don't know. It sure is hard to measure them up. I'm just going by my fingers. But I hope you enjoyed this. We're going to cut it off now. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching.